Legend of Nessie. Introduction. Is the Loch Ness Monster a myth or a legend? People have described seeing something strange emerging from the dark water of the Loch Ness in Scotland. They described an animal similar to the description of an ancient dragon or sea serpent. The monster has a dark body, long neck, sheep-like head, with two or more humps on its back. The monster, called Nessie, is named after the loch or lake in which it lives. Strange creatures of the sea are found in many legends, myths, and stories. Scottish myths have been passed down about a water spirit called cowpea, nuzzled by a horse. When sailors first started sailing beyond the south land, they talked about seeing monsters at sea. Some of those monsters were described as being so large that they could swallow a ship. According to legend, these huge, horrible beasts guarded treasure at the bottom of the sea. Could Nessie be one of the monsters of myth or legend? The loch called Ness, the body of water is rumored to be home to the legendary Loch Ness monster. It's large, in fact, the largest body of fresh water in the British Isles. Loch Ness is 24 miles long, only 1 mile wide, and over 800 feet deep in some places. It's much deeper than the sea surround the British Isles. Loch Ness was formed during the last ice age. At that time, the land, now called Scotland, split in two and earthquakes made a trench. The glaciers covered the trench until about 12,000 years old. When the ice melted, it filled the trench with water to form a loch. Loch Ness water is very cold peat, a layer of dead plant material is thickened in the water of the Loch Ness. The peat allows light to travel only as deep as a few yards. As a result, sunlight can't warm the water, making it too cold for people to swim in. The top 100 feet, 3.5 meters, warms to 55 degrees Fahrenheit in summer. The rest stay at 24 degrees Fahrenheit all year round. Because of this, more life in the loch, such as fish and seals, stay close to the surface. Monster sightings over 1,400 years. Curious people have taken Nessie sighting seriously. Scientists have even used NASA computer along with the test lock. But long before the testing began in 1970s, some sources saw the monster in the loch. The first recorded sighting was in 8565 by the Irish missionary named Saint Columba. The report said he asked the servant to swim across the loch to get the boat. A creature came to the surface, roared, and opened its mouth. Columba commanded it to go back. The quiet did not has been quiet and peaceful. People kept Nessie sighting quiet until the 1930s, when cameras became popular. Nessie hunting to a flash, people wanted to catch Nessie, at least in a picture. Thousands of people who live in the area have signed a statement promising that they've seen a monster. The monster most sightings occurred near the Erhart Castle ruins. The castle ruins are located near the midpoint of the loch, where the water is deepest. Study of the strange water creatures are not unique to Loch Ness. People have reported seeing similar creatures in at least 265 lakes and rivers around the world. Some people think the creature may be the type of saltwater mammal or fish. Some in the Nessie sighting are the prehistoric reptiles that somehow survived for a million of years. They saw that when the trench was created during the last ice age, prehistoric beasts or group of beasts became landlocked. Fact or fiction? Some accept a report of Nessie as fact. The believers cite the similar description of Nessie, the number of eyewitness reports, the and the um, possible sonar evidence. Others think of the reports as legend to keep children away from the deep, cold water of the loch. The non-believers cite the lack of hard scientific evidence proof Nessie is real. Some people have tried to make the world believe that Nessie is real by creating hoaxes. The hoaxes trick that keep the legend of the Loch Monster alive. A few of the most famous hoaxes are based on photographs. People thought the photo album was the real monster. It turned to be a picture of the three bales covered by black tar. Famous photograph from 1934 turned out to be fake sea serpents had attacked toy submarine. Another hoax in 1934 got people excited when they saw a giant fruit green mud on the banks of the loch. A man used a stuffed hippopotamus to make the footprint. Studying the loch had turned up other findings. In 1981, the Loch Ness Project found a fish called red-bellied Arctic char. They had been living depth of 700 feet for over 12,000 years since the last ice age. Experts thought the water would cold for life below the 100 feet. The discovery of red-bellied turtle surprised them. Conclusion: maybe the Loch Ness Monster will one day lose its legendary statu- statues. Statues might someday identify new species of fish, but for now Nessie remains a mystery. Mystery might be the greatest appeal. The legend continues to capture people's imagination.